Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is the Raptor, and welcome back to another one of my Death Battle prediction videos. Before we get started, though, I do want to say a few things. So, I have reacted to Miles Morales vs. Static Death Battle. I'm not sure whether or not it's already on the channel. It's uploading right now, just so you guys know. So, I don't know if there are going to be any problems with it. Like, it's uploading as I'm recording this video. I don't know if there are going to be any problems with it, or if, it's going to get claimed. I really hope it's not going to get claimed. But if it doesn't, it's probably going to take a while to upload, so I don't know whether or not it's already on the channel. If it's not on the channel, though, it will be coming up relatively soon, hopefully at least, and, I'll at least make sure you guys have some way to watch it, whether it's a redirect or if I actually am able to get it onto YouTube. I'm really hoping for the first one, or it might already be online. I'm not really sure. Regardless, that's enough of that. Let's move on to this death battle. So at the end of Miles Morales vs. Static, they revealed that the next death battle is going to be Sindel from Mortal Kombat versus Black Canary from DC. They're having two DC characters in a row. They've done it before. They've done it with Marvel, and I think they've done it with Sonic the Hedgehog too, with Shadow and then Sonic following right after. It's just still a little weird when they do it, but I mean, I'm not really going to argue with it because I do love Marvel and DC, as I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, and you can tell right here. So there is that. And, originally when I heard that Sindel was going to be, one of the combatants for Season 7, as they revealed at the end of All Might vs. Might Guy, one of my first instincts was actually Black Bolt instead of Black Canary. I know it's a stomp in favor of Black Bolt, but I was thinking how they're both, kind of royalty in a sense, along with having Sonic Screams. Again, I know that this is a much closer fight, so it makes more sense, and the Birds of Prey movie is coming out, so they're obviously commemorating it. But Black Bolt was actually one of the first combatants that came to my mind, funny enough. And they're doing two characters in a row that were revealed at the end of All Might vs. Might Guy. I wonder if they're going to do it all in succession or if they're going to spread it out more after that. I don't know. But regardless, I guess we can get into predicting this. Getting my biases out of the way, though, first. As I mentioned before, I'm a hardcore Marvel and DC fan. You guys probably already know that, and I know more overall about Marvel and DC than I do something like Mortal Kombat. I still like Mortal Kombat, but it's not, up my alley as much as it is for Marvel and DC. So just keep that in mind. I did do my research, and I am trying to be as fair as possible, but just keep that in mind that those are my biases. But yeah, hopefully I'll try to ignore those as best as I can. So yeah, without further ado, let's actually get into analyzing these characters. So the best place to start is their Sonic Screams, and I say that because this is the thing that they have in common, but honestly, trying to compare the two Sonic Screams is really, really hard to do, mainly because the Sonic Screams tend to do different things, or they tend, like obviously you have the Sonic Scream that can, push opponents back, both Sindel and Black Canary have done this before, but then you have it where, when they really amp it up, they seem to have different effects. Like with Black Canary, starting off with her, she can amp it up to make it go to 300 decibels, which is where human ears start to bleed, so that's really insane. And she's also, I believe, been able to blow off Amazo's head with a Sonic Scream, or at least a really powerful one. It would have to be. I think that's her best feat, or one of her best feats of her Sonic Screams, or her Canary Cries, if that's what they call it. Regardless, though, I don't know if that's going to be an outlier or not, just because I don't think we've seen anything to that level of power, or maybe we have. Regardless, she can really amp it up to an insane degree. The thing is, though, so can Sindel, but it does it in a different way. It's not to the point where, it screams so high that ears start to bleed. It's more so when you have the over-the-top, action in Mortal Kombat, and, finishers and stuff, where she what is it? She can, blow people's skin off with a Sonic Scream. She can basically blow people apart, even if we're looking at, the toughest of Mortal Kombat characters. So there's that. Her Sonic Scream is definitely extremely powerful. And the thing is, at first glance, or at first thought, I wouldn't think that Black Canary would be able to pull off the same over-the-top, ridiculous feat like that, that Sindel did. But then again, Black Canary probably never tried to do that. But again, I don't know if physics really works like that, you can actually scream so hard that someone blows to pieces. But she has already done something kind of similar like that to Amazo, and I don't know exactly how tough Amazo is. And then we have, I don't know if they're going to go more into, their averages, or, if they're going more into, how high they can really go, or how powerful they can go. Because I feel like, even though Black Canary has done stuff like blowing off Amazo's head, I feel like, Sindel can do things you know, blowing people apart more easily. Like, I feel like that's more of an average for her, whereas with Black Canary, going up to, like, 300 dB and blowing off Amazo's head is more of, like, where she reaches her limit. I might be completely wrong with that, but that's what I'm thinking, and to me, it's really hard to compare these two in this way, even though it's the thing that they have in common, you know? So, here's what I'm thinking. After going over the other categories, I do personally believe that either of these characters would be able to kill the other with their sonic screams. Like, let's be honest, if Black Canary is able to blow off Amazo's head, she should be able to blow off Sindel's head. And if Sindel is able to blow apart a ton of tough Mortal Kombat characters whose durability clearly exceeds Black Canary's own, then Sindel should be able to kill Black Canary in that way too. And looking at the other categories, I really believe that screaming, like sonic screaming, is not going to be the determining factor in this fight. I feel like it's really the other categories where there's a noticeable difference, or at least somewhat of a noticeable difference, which is what we'll get into now. So, there is an advantage that goes to each of these characters that I feel like is very obvious, at least at first glance it is, unlike some other advantages where you really have to dig deep to find them out. Regardless, though, the big advantage that I think that Black Canary has over Sindel is martial arts and fighting ability. She's trained with the best, she's trained with Wildcat, she's able to keep up with Batman and other extremely skilled martial artists in hand-to-hand combat. I believe she knows over like 10 different martial arts. I don't know if it's like she's mastered all of them, but she definitely knows a wide variety of martial arts. And then you have Sindel, who I believe knows some martial arts. I believe it's confirmed of some martial arts that she knows, but it's definitely not to the same level as Black Canary. Going on the flip side, though, the big advantage that Sindel has over Black Canary is versatility, because both of them have their sonic screams, and both of them are okay fighters or whatever. Again, Black Canary is a better fighter, but Sindel has some other abilities, which makes her really unpredictable. Like, first of all, she can use her hair as a weapon. Like, she basically, like, can control her hair and, like, uppercut people with it and throw people around with it, do a ton of other stuff. Like, it's extremely powerful and deadly hair. But that's only, like, scratching the surface. Like, she also can shoot out fireballs, I believe maybe some other energy attacks, or maybe it's mainly just fireballs. She can also, like, kind of, like, fly or hover, I guess is more of a good word for it, like, in the air, which gives her good maneuverability. What else does she have? I believe she also has a finisher where she, like, changes the opponent into a baby. I don't know if that applies to, like, every single version of Sindel, although they might be compositing it, or compositing the character, so if so, I guess she does have access to that. So that's really insane. Like, she's got some magical abilities too, or at least some magic-like abilities like that. I believe she also has this thing called, like, a Quan Dao or a Quan Do, which is, like, some sort of, like, weapon that she uses in finishers to, like, rip people apart or something. I believe I'm getting that right. I don't know. Regardless, though, she has quite a lot up her sleeve, and a lot of deadly stuff up her sleeve. And Black Canary might have some stuff that she carries with her, but I feel like overall, Sindel just is more unpredictable, and she has more options for long-range and short-range combat. Like, for short-range for Black Canary, it's usually just hand-to-hand combat, and with long-range, it's like sonic screams. But Sindel has sonic screams and hand-to-hand combat, but also more stuff for short range and more stuff for long range. So I definitely think she has the advantage in terms of versatility and overall unpredictability. One other thing that I want to mention quickly is that, you know, Sindel does have some finishers, which is where, like, she shows the upper limits of her power. Maybe not the upper limits of her power, but, like, those finishers paint her as a more powerful character than just normal gameplay. So I'm not really sure whether or not it's fair to say, or not it's fair to say, but, like, I don't know if she can use that stuff all the time that she uses in her finishers, or really just ending a battle. But I believe Death Battle has used that kind of stuff before, where, you know, if they do it in their finishers, that means it is something they can do, which does make sense to me to a certain degree. So I am still going to be considering those as if she can just do those, because she has done those in gameplay. You know, like stuff like, again, where she like turns someone into a baby, or where I believe she, like, sticks her hair into someone's body and, like, rips it apart, you know? So, you know, just wanted to get that out of the way. But what else do these characters have? So, those are the biggest advantages, or at least the biggest ones at first glance, at least in my opinion, when it comes to these characters. But now we have some of the other advantages, which are strength, speed, and durability. Now, here's the thing. In terms of strength, these characters seem pretty even. Like, or at least at first glance, they seem pretty even. Like, Black Canary is in top physical condition. She's probably not quite as strong as someone like Batman, but, like, maybe around the level of Nightwing or something. She's still extremely strong for a human, like, just peak physical condition and all that. And with Sindel, we've seen that, you know, she's been able to do things like crack bones, like as all Mortal Kombat characters can do. Whether it's with her hair, I believe she can also do it with her own fists. So, in terms of strength, they seem pretty even to me. I'd want to give a slight edge to Sindel, just because I think that it'd be easier for her overall to break bone than it would be for Canary to. But then we have an interesting thing that comes up, which is that Sindel at one point was given, like, the soul of Shao Kahn, no, not the soul of Shao Kahn, the soul of Shang Tsung by Shao Kahn, like, Shao Kahn gave it to her, and it basically amped up her power by quite a bit. Like, she was able to, like, knock out people in one punch, she was able to, like, throw, throw people, I don't know if it was with her hair or, like, with her actual strength. Regardless, though, it amped up her physical capabilities quite a bit. And I'm not sure whether or not Death Battle is going to use this, because I don't think it was made very clear whether or not she lost these abilities. And Death Battle likes to do this thing where, you know, even if it's not the most accurate to the character, like what we've seen most often, they want to use, you know, the best point in their timeline. Unless it's something like Doctor Doom, where he absorbed the power of the Beyonders or something. Of course, they're not going to use that. But I feel like they might use Sindel when she's powered up by Shang Tsung's soul, just based on what we've seen Death Battle do before. And if that's the case, then I definitely think that Sindel has the overall strength advantage. But honestly, even if she didn't, even if they were more or less on the same level of strength and they didn't use the Shang Tsung thing, I believe she overall has more power. Like, again, with those finishers with her hair, she can uppercut people with her hair, she can put her hair inside someone and make them explode. Like, Black Canary can't do anything like that, at least not, you know, with her own fists. And again, with her fireballs, with her magic potency, with her Quan Dao, where she, like, rips someone apart. Like, overall, I feel like, with or without Shang Tsung's soul, Sindel just overall possesses more powerful things, you know, like more things. Even if Black Canary does technically have the stronger Sonic Scream, overall I think Sindel is more powerful. But if, like, she has things that make her more powerful. But, you know, if you include Shang Tsung's soul, then she definitely has the advantage in terms of pure strength as well. So I'm thinking that she definitely has more overall power and strength than Black Canary. And when you look at speed, like, again, Sindel can hover, but I think that Black Canary would be better in terms of reflexes. But then again, based on how fast we've seen her hair react, Sindel's hair, I think it'd be able to at least keep up with the reflexes, and maybe even somewhat keep up with the fighting ability, mixed with her own fighting ability, mixed with Sindel's own fighting ability. So I feel like she has better ways, not to necessarily counter Black Canary's advantages, but she has ways to, you know, to keep up easier than I feel like Black Canary can keep up with something like the power advantage or the versatility advantage. And then in terms of durability, some people have considered Sindel a glass cannon, and Black Canary does wear some body armor, even though I don't think it'd be able to protect from, like, screaming someone apart. Regardless, though, you know, I feel like if Shang Tsung's soul wasn't used, then Black Canary would probably have the durability advantage by a tiny bit. But in terms of, if they do include Shang Tsung's soul, I'd have to imagine that Sindel has the durability advantage. I probably should have done more research on this one. To be fair, though, I don't know an overwhelming amount of information on Sindel, as I'm sure you guys already know. Regardless, though, that's what I have. And yeah, so that's really what I'm thinking right now. There are some other categories, like intelligence and experience, but I feel like there's not enough to really, not enough of an advantage to either character to really turn the tides. So here's really what I'm thinking. I see that Black Canary has the martial arts advantage, and I see that Sindel has the versatility advantage. The Sonic Screams, I'm still not really going to touch that, because either one can kill the other, no matter how much durability either of them has. But for me, I feel like they are going to give Sindel Shang Tsung's soul, and I feel like with that, she has the strength advantage, she has the power advantage, she has the versatility advantage, and she has the durability advantage. And I feel that her hair and other abilities do have ways to keep up with with Black Canary's advantages, like fighting and reflexes. So overall, right now, at this point in the game, and I might switch my answer, I won't make another prediction video, but I might flip-flop back and forth later, but right now I'm thinking that Sindel is going to win. Even though I know more about Black Canary, I think that Sindel is going to win. But I want to know what you guys have to say. Who do you think's going to win? Let me know down in the comments below, and yeah, that's it for me. I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.